Today we are in an episode of In Focus, discussing about the drug menace which has overtaken our entire state. And as we are concerned, we have come out with this live program on discussing how and which possibilities can be undertaken for the containment of this menace. This is Akashvani Kohima. Today we have in our studios three officers for the live discussion. We have Mr. Amit Kumar, Superintendent of Police, Narcotics, and we also have Mr. Sheta Lohe, Sub-Divisional Police Officer, North, Kohima, and Mrs. Sashimongla Jamir, Special Public Prosecutor. Welcome to our studios. Well, dear listeners, in today's episode, we'll discuss on or talk on a strategy for tackling the drug menace. I would like to begin this session by asking a question to Mr. Amit Kumar, Superintendent of Police on Narcotics. Sir, are there any identification of hotspots where drug menace is rampant in Nagaland?
Presently, Kohima and Dimapur are seen to be having registration of highest number of cases in NDPS cases. So we presently consider these to be hotspots for the drug menace, and the reason for that kind of hotspots is that like the presence of a large population, then their capability to buy, and then this is also a transit route where the drugs are coming from the side of Manipur and further from Myanmar side, and then the drugs are further going towards Assam and to other states. So because of that, presently these two districts are becoming hotspots within the Nagaland.
Now, if the hotspots has been identified, like our police being placed at these identified hotspots to apprehend offenders who are used to carrying out illicit traffickings.
Police is already having presence and to take special care of these kind of cases. What we can see that we are working on interceptions, the vehicles are intercepted. Most of the recoveries, most of the seizures that we are making is being made during the transit only. So for that we are making the mobile vehicle check posts where we are intercepting the vehicles, stopping them and then making the recoveries. And besides that, both of the districts are having their special teams where they are conducting the special operations based on the intelligence, both human intelligence as well as technical intelligence. So our target is very clear in both of these hotspots.
The menace, the difficulty is a mammoth task, and we really appreciate our police for doing a good job and continue to do the best you can. And now I would like to ask a question to our SDPO, Mr. Sheta Lohe. Are there any device or system to detect if a person is carrying drugs in their possession, or frisking is the only method available in the state?
As of now, there haven't been any devices that have been helping us. We have been detecting these drugs through sources, through chances, mostly frisking. Yeah.
Frisking must be quite a risky job because often these traffickers are well armed, and so what sort of protections or care that you take while doing these? What are the setups that you do while doing the friskings?
So basically, when we go for operations, like we're trained, we brief our men, our officers brief their jawans to take extra care in whatever they are doing. Also, looking over the safety of the civilians and the jawans as well. So that is what we are doing at the moment.
In case, are there any sniffer dogs in the state police department?
Presently, we have sniffer dogs in our department, but they are getting old. So presently, our department is working towards improving the canine force, and They are already have moved out the proposals. They are already on it. And then once we are getting more canines, once we are having more trained dogs, then we will be looking for employing them in the narcotic related cases. Presently, as of now, we don't have that capability.
I was thinking that dogs don't get old, but it is good to know that younger ones are being recruited for training and making use of them. Like with the Call Your Cop app being developed, how far this app has been successfully used in tackling drug menace? Any one of the officers can answer.
Call Your Cop was an app that was launched up by our police department that was mainly to provide the accessibility of police to the common public. It is an app where public can find out the police stations, where they are located. They can find out the contact numbers of the officers of the police department, from officer in charge and even up to the DGP of the state. So by that sense, the app has been successful. People are giving the good feedback. So, but especially for narcotics, we cannot say anything that regarding narcotics, any development or any like success has been achieved by this app. But presently, under the vision of our leadership, we have launched another app and web page made in Nagaland. This app and web page is mainly targeted towards providing a platform to the common public where they can register their complaints, not just for narcotics but other serious offences also, like extortion or arms act. So they can easily register themselves. They can provide their details on this, and then we are taking actions based on their information. And the best part of this web page is that they do not need to share much details on about them. So their confidentiality, their privacy is maintained, their secrecy is maintained. But if someone wants to join us in a way that he wants to have rewards, because in narcotic related cases there is a provision for providing rewards also to the informers. So if someone wants to go to that level, then it is better that they provide us as much as details possible, so that we can deal the issue well and also know that who is our informer. But still, if somebody is not comfortable, then we do not insist on providing any information other than the crime related issue.
You know, this Call Your Cop app, I find it very useful. And so like, how much is this Call Your app being used by the public as of now? Any just a rough estimate of how many calls that people use this app?
Actually, this app basically provides you the contact numbers and accessibility of those police officers. So when they are calling us, so we cannot be sure whether they are calling us just because they were already having their mobile numbers, or because they got their these mobile numbers from this app. So that we cannot ascertain, but definitely this app is providing some at least accessibility to the common public.
Madam Sashimongla Jamir, Special Public Prosecutor. Madam, we are so happy to have you with us. Like, what is the penalty for drug peddlers when they are caught?
First of all, thank you for having us. Now, when we talk about penalty in other words means punishment.
Right.
So, whenever an accused person is arrested on drug-related charges, first there is a investigation period, and after that only trial will commence. Now, only after the accused, whether the arrested person, whether he or she is acquitted or convicted, depends on the charges. Now, there are several under NTPS. NTPS Act is a very special and comprehensive act. Now, under NTPS, there are several sections. Suppose 21A, which normally which deals with psychotropic manufactured drugs. 22A, B, C is there. Now, these sections are thoroughly specified. Now, if an arrested person is being charged can be charged with any of the sections, but the penalty will depend on the sections that is levied against the arrested person.
Definitely, any punishment has to be as per the weight of the crime.
Yes. Depends on whether the seized contraband item is of small quantity, whether it's of intermediate quantity, or whether it's of commercial quantity. The sections will duly depend on those seized contraband items.
And any of the officers can if complement or supplement.
Yeah, as ma'am told us that it depends on the quantity that is seized in the NDPS related cases. So if the quantity is small, then the punishment will be different. If it is commercial, then the punishment will be totally different.
Right.
It ranges from minimum 1 year punishment and ranges up to 20 years of punishment. And if like somebody is found involved in these kind of cases, somebody is convicted again, then in that case there is even provision of having the death penalty for these kind of cases.
Enhanced punishment.
So those are caught. Now that bail should not be granted to these drug peddlers, especially for repeat offenders. Like, do you think this should be done? I mean, they should not be given bail. Those are found time and again offenders.
Bail should not be, of course, granted to habitual offenders if we want to make a Nagaland a drug-free zone. But we cannot eradicate the fact that the court cannot exercise power beyond the provision of law relating to bail matters.
Madam, do you think that an attorney should or should not defend an offender in the case of drug peddlers or drug kingpins?
With regard to that question, there is in Article 22 of the Constitution of India clearly states that the right to counsel springs from Article 22 of the Constitution of India, which provides that no person who is arrested shall be detained in custody without being informed as soon as may be of the grounds of such arrest, nor shall he be denied the right to counsel and to be defended by a legal practitioner of his own choice. So if the Article 22 of the Constitution is cannot be, if it's not amended, every arrested person have a right to counsel.
After all, Pia kam Korea khan laga racha jo thorile aro sabse bhalde dui hobo. Kile mane through him we can catch the rest of the peddlers and all that. And we can discuss Kura then they just take freely, be free, and any one of you can. And preferably sometimes even express in Naganese if you feel free to do so.
Yes.
In the continuation of bail, that the question you were asking, moi itu ko bole mon ase like bail as a police department mokan laga to itu responsibility ase edu kun biya kaam kure ase takhan ke dhoribo lage aru dhori ke ne takhan ke laga to ki punishment ase itu ensure koribo lage. So bail, what we are seeing in many of the cases, especially in NDPS related cases, mokan edu saise manukan ke dhoribo and then within 2 months 3 months takhan olai jabo and then we are catching them again. So mokan bishi case itu nishna face kure ase where they have been earlier also involved in these kind of cases, and the bail is always granted on basis of some conditions that court impose on the person, on the accused person, and we are finding that presently those conditions are not satisfied by these people who are released on bail. तो इतो हिसाब परा इत्या मोखन लगा पुलिस डिपार्टमेंट तो इतो ही ensure करे ऐसे that bail तो ना दिबो लागे. In maximum cases we try to ensure इतो bail तो oppose ही करे बो लागे on genuine grounds. Whatever genuine grounds are there, मोखन लगा आयो खान इतो push करे बो, इतो PPs खान push करे बो, court के present करे बो कि इतो मनो तो बाहर ओलाइले इतो काम करे बो. These are the situations. इतु मनो तो बाहर ओलाई के ने एविडेंस टेम्पर करिबो, इतु मनो तो विटनेसेस खान के थ्रेटन करिबो. So all these conditions are existing. इतु condition था के तो if somebody is involved in those kind of things, तो bail तो दिया लगा काम ना होए. So that is why we are trying our best that while giving bail also some strict conditions are imposed on the persons who are involved, especially in these kind of cases, NDPS related cases. किले ताखान तो एक बार बाहरते हो लाबो अरु पीछे ते हराई जबो तो ताखान के धुरले भी दिगदर पाबो अरु ताखान अरु इन्वॉल्व हो. So from police side we are ensuring that this does not happen. Once a person is behind the bars for the crime he has committed, we ensure that he should remain behind the bars only.
Itu the bisi hal laga kotha kile mane public khan ko do police khan chor mano hobi tawe kha mano hobi thuri na jail de halibo holibi court para ene free kuri thake bail kuri thake etu to biha asana ki enaga bhapna time de etu SP sab para American police khan para etu to strict para kiba side bo ko do PC phal kotha ase. I think we should. Yes, please.
So one of the biggest hurdles in the field, when we go out, we freeze somebody and then we get some drugs along with him. Now, we need independent witnesses. So most of the times, the publics, the leaders, the CSOs, they don't come forward to be witnesses. So, man do it and arrest witnesses, independent witnesses to make our case strong, to object those bails. So I do not take them the bail by Jaidan, procedural lapse. So now I would like to request the listeners also as well as the public to come forward and help us. We have been having a series of meetings with the CSOs and presidents, some chairmen of the colonies in Kohima. They have been coming forward now, but so Kyaruvi Ekta request to come and help us so that we can help you more. Yeah.
No, really, we should really appreciate our police and the law enforcing agencies. All of you are trying your best, trying to do your best. But I think something is basically wrong in our society, which all of us must really honestly and sincerely introspect into ourselves. It is all because of nepotism and sometimes tribalism comes into play, and then using influences. I think these are the reasons why our society is not able to grow and develop as it should. And so as a law-abiding citizens, I think all the Nagas should be in one voice, that in dealing with crime and criminals and all that. I think this is really a very essential thing. Madam, is there any punishment for drug abusers besides the drug battlers? Do you think that there should be such law where drug abusers are also punished? Meaning to say, khali khamano kan ke he thori gina punishment dibo aro enaga hoa laga tikha nishana hoa nimide etu question do amni ge khoti ase man.
Now, if drug abusers come and thura time there are certain sections, 21A chutumutu thura quantity that don't be thuri theke. Now there are also another section that is 27A for consumers, small quantity han thuri theke na to han karne. Now these are most of the sections here when it comes to small quantity are bailable sections. Now they avail one section that is 64A. It's for rehabilitation for those who voluntarily volunteer kurina we rehabilitate kuri dibi muke. They can avail that section wherein they have to get admitted to a rehabilitation center and then detox kan kurubo idu khanna to apply kuritan. But as for such drug users, that is abusers, can it one can to rigorous imprisonment for 1 year, and fine is if they are convicted, if they are found guilty of the offense under the sections that is judged against them. The punishment is rigorous imprisonment for 1 year and fine is 10,000.
Punishment do aro fine do PC tangor holibi manukan ekdam moon tangor hoigena ene do biakam khando kori thake etu karne ami kan apsos hado moon dukhado etu like in what madam has said, any of our police officers can
Ma'am has already pointed out the sections of law that provides immunity to the drug abusers. Hole bhi mokan laga itu what we are seeing in the society presently bishi cases register kura khan to itu nishna ase takhan nijor bhi consumer bhi ase aru bikri bhi kura ase kile itu dawai kha laga manu khan to itu poisa bishi na thaki takhan laga hatte itu time te takhan ki kurbo bahar para loikena alop loikena ahibo alop nijor consume koribo aru kunba aru ke bhi bikri kori dibo. So those kind of cases are treated as the drug peddlers only. Takhan ke to itu drug abuser na ko lage. They are purely drug peddlers. तो itu hisab para hi mokan ensure kore takhan punishment pabo lage. Hole bhi kunba manu to itu nishna bhi thake takhan to kunba manu ke to bikri na kore. Hole bhi nijor hi consume kore thake because of some reasons. Kunba to itu pain ko thake kunba kiba reason ko bo they somehow they got trapped in this drug menace. So takhan nimite to mokan laga law bhi itu provide kure ase takhan ke to itu rehab kuri bole itu section provide kuri ke na ase hole bhi they have to ensure that takhan ki condition dike na ase itu to satisfy kuri bo lage takhan ke immunity de ase just to ensure that they are going to the rehab centers. Hole bhi takhan itu rehab te just for namesake jabo itu treatment complete na koribo aru piche te takhan aru start kuri dibo itu khabole to eto hisab para to takhan ke immunity dibo na paribo immunity dile bhi takhan laga piche te withdraw koribo pare itu nishna cases se. So that is all I want to say.
Really, dear listeners, the issue is so complex and we need to continuously think over, discuss as to how to tackle the menace. Now we have a question for our SP here. My name is Villa from Kohima. My question to SP Amit Kumar is, what are the features of mate in Nagaland? Will the informant identity be disclosed when any information is given to the police?
Thanks for the question. As I already told, itu mokan laga web page design kuri ke na ase. Itu de ekta bhi column mandatory kuri kene diya nai mokan. Sab column optional hi ase. Apni kiman khobar dibo pare itu hi dibi. Apne laga information te khali kunba laga naam ase naam bhi dibo pare. Ki kure ase itu bhi dibo pare. Photo ase photo share koribo pare. Video ase video attach koribo pare or any other kind of document itu attach koribo pare. And itu apni laga khushi ase whether you want to disclose your identity or not. If you are not putting your name, if you are not putting your mobile number in those details, so mokan bhi itu na janibo. And even if you are providing those details, like apni itu form te apni laga naam halibo aru mobile number halibo, even in that case itu data khan to mokan laga hath te hi safe ase. That data is in safe custody. Mokan to nijor use nimite hi ase kunba aru ke share kori bole na hoy. Just still if you are doubting that thing itu apne laga khushi ase you are free to not to put your name mobile number just provide information kon biya kaam kore se who are the people who are involved in the drugs arms or any other kind of crime just khobar dilei hui jabo.
Thank you very much Mr. Villa for the question. Our honored guest speaker has really shared with us the confidence that we should be able to repose on our police officers. There is nothing to worry. We should not have any iota of mistrust. We must trust our police. They are doing their best. And so thank you very much. Keep on, I request the listeners to keep on sending in your SMS so that our live discussion will be more interesting. Now, yes, we have more or less shared on the concerns about catching drug addict and then the trafficking, how friskings are being done. But now, let us come to another field of the issue. Like, it is the question of now, how do we effectively tackle drug menace? A very general question, and so you can give your personal opinion on a strategy that could be taken for an effective tackling of drug menace. I would like to begin with our lady member here. Madam, what in your opinion should be the most effective way of tackling drug menace in Nagaland?
I believe one of the most effective strategy in tackling drug menace may be community policing. Now, when we talk about community policing, it means the public should make it duty bound to inform, to report to the police about selling, purchasing, or use of drug in and around the vicinity. That is what I believe is one of the most effective strategy. Now, there should also be collaboration among the law enforcement agency as well as the healthcare and social services also. If we reduce the demand of drugs in our society, then if there is no demand, there will be no supply in the market. I believe collaboration as well as community policing.
I would like to ask a supplementary question to Mr. Sheta Lohe, SDPO Kohima. Like, what in your opinion, Madam has pointed out something very vital, that if there is no demand, there will be no supply. And that is very true. So now, the main issue here is people who are in it continue to long for it. So how do we stop that kind of urge for demand for these drugs?
Madam just said that it's basic economy. When there is no demand, there is no supply.
Yes.
So, but what I would like to tell the public or anybody that is listening is, I think this drugs is not only an issue with the police have to tackle. It is a collective effort. I used to tell this to people when I go for meetings, or when I call a consultative meeting with the chairmen. It is a very frustrated generation at the moment. Unemployment, frustrations, depressions, everybody is escaping reality. So in order to escape these realities of life, they are taking an escape route, which is drugs. I feel like community should jump in, and the government also should look more towards counseling, more towards the mental state of the young kids, because most of the cases that comes to us is from the age group of around 15 to 25, most cases. So I feel like we should nip it in the bud. Families should come in, the support system should come in. Police should be a last resort. We are just collateral damages. I feel if the community steps in to curb this menace, I'm sure we'll be able to be victorious in our efforts.
It is quite true. Like in your opinion now, as Mr. Sheta has well pointed out, it is to do with the frustrations of people. What are some of the causes of frustration that is prevalent in Naga society, in your personal observation?
In my personal observation, in most of the cases that we have seen, that as the Sheta also rightly pointed out, one of the reason is the unemployment, the youth. The Nagaland is having a lot of youth, but takan idu employment opportunity na paile, they will be somehow pushed to these things. Like if bishi cases kante, when we interrogate them personally, mokan takan ke hudi thake apni to ki gure. First answer to ये तो इकू ना करे तो किनिका, तो then they say कि इकू ना करे ये तो ही काम ते आई जाइए, because they are finding it to be easy money. और easy money किनिका, like they will be like themselves to be peddlers, or then they will try to like be the couriers or the big suppliers. Somehow they will engage in this business. And as like ma'am was mentioning that if demand is reduced, supply will be automatically be reduced. But in this business, what I have personally seen, edu supply side bhi bishi important as a. Even if demand is not there, takhan edu drug suppliers khan to bishi smart as a, takhan to supply kuribo. They will create the demand. They are smart enough. Takhan start to free para ini सस्ता परा दिबो इतो अलप खाई साबी ना once the youth is addicted, then automatically demand is created, then the supply and demand chain is completed. So presently the youth that is not finding the right direction, if they are not getting the right direction, what to do, how to sort out their stress, or how to vent out their energy in a positive direction, ultimately though itu route te hi taka nai jabo, because we are presently at the transit route for these kind of drugs, where drugs are coming from Myanmar side and it is being dispersed to the country as a whole. So apni itu transit route te thakile, if you are not engaged in a productive manner, then definitely you are bound to involve in these kind of activities. That is where the community's role comes to play, where they have to give the direction to the youth. And in Nagaland, what I have seen personally, Nagaland is a collective society. Nagas are very collective. So if they decide that idu mokhan laga youth laga problem ase, youth khan ke do bhal direction di bo lagi wo. So I don't think that we cannot end this problem in Nagaland. They can engage the youth in the sports, they can engage the youth in the cultural activities, they can engage the youth in artifacts, and lot of activities are there, and Nagaland opportunities are numerous. So society can act together to give them better direction. That is all I want to say.
It is quite true. I was just thinking, it's a question for all of us. Like sometimes we also come across some people who are employed but into drugs. Now, what could be the possible thing that has encourages or lead such people into taking drugs despite having a job? It's a very funny and sometimes tricky question. The question is, like, there are some employed, like we have been saying, that it's because of unemployment that leads to drug addiction and to escape from reality. But there are some cases where they are employed and they are on drugs.
Yes, those kind of cases are also existing. We are not saying that all kind of cases are unemployed youth only. Like employed youth is also there. Even the people who are having good businesses, they are also involved in these kind of cases. Even if we see in the rest parts of the country, the people who are influential, who are rich enough, wealthy enough to do lot of things in their life, they are also moving towards the drugs. They take it like for the purpose of the pleasure that they get out of it, and they do not know that for the momentary pleasure they are ultimately entering to the path where they are spoiling their body, where they are spoiling their relations, and ultimately they are spoiling the whole society. So for them the reason is completely different. Within employed also, like people do for the money also, because of the easy money, because we have seen the big players working in this business who are doing the transactions to the tune of crores. So that can also be the reason.
We are also having another SMS here. Hi, good afternoon, sirs and ma'am. I am from Mon district. Trucks kha mano khan ke nahoy kura khan ke 2 years sajai aro poisado 50,000 rupees fine loile phal ase. I am from CS Konyak. So this is a question being asked. The question is, drugs kha mano khan ke nahoy kura khan ke 2 years sajai aro 50,000 rupees fine loile phal hobana ki laga.
Thank you for the question, Mr.
CS Konyak.
CS Konyak. Auni question to nakamis pa hutise to ani ami nakamis pa hi reply kuri dibo. Drugs kha mano, what was the question again? Drugs kha mano no hoy, but kura mano kan.
They are expecting 2 years punishment for the people who are doing this. Already presently, as ma'am has already mentioned, that we are having punishment that is starting from 1 year, then it goes to 10 years if like it is between small quantity and commercial quantity. Aru commercial quantity thagile 20 years भी punishment लगा provision असे. So आपने कहा तो 2 years तो बिशी कमती असे. ये तो government परा दिया लगा तो 1 year, 10 year and then 20 years. Aru repeated offender thakile to death penalty bhi ase itute. So big punishments are there in this.
CS Konyak, I hope you are satisfied. Edu government parado khali 2 years nohegna 20-30 years sajai bhi ase. Aro boisa bhi khali 50,000 nohegna 2 lakhs itu upor de bhi loi loi. Enaka hoile apni kwa hisab de phal hobo. Kwa nimite edu apni kwa brabi aro PC punishment do BC severe ase. Edu garne ami kan etu monde rakhile phal. And I think there is still one more. It is true that substance abuse begin in children as early as 12 or 13 years. And what are some strategies and means that can be used to prevent this while simultaneously combating drug abuse among youth and adults? So the questioner's name is not here, but this is the question that is being asked. Substance abuse begins in children as early as 12 to 13 years. And what are some of the strategies and means that can be used to prevent this while simultaneously combating drug abuse among youth and adults?
Starting from 12 years as per the question. Now, when a person is under 18 years of age, he or she can be called a minor. So minor do under parents la supervision de thake. When a person, he or she starts abusing drugs from the age of 12 years, then the talaga company, tala friends can bahar de bira them they come into such substances and then they get into it, they get addicted to it. One I think which सबसे भाव वाला तो family बड़ा शुरू को आप हाल से parents थकेले relatives friends neighbors with भी ताहम बड़ा help करीना ताहम बड़ा support करी शुगली तो do make him or her नखावले करने avoid करती गुले करने family बड़ा ही शुरू करा भाल से निली तो थकी ना रो बिशी बिचरी तो बिक्री करा शुरू वो किनाई नुगिना बिक्री भी करो वो बिचरी illicit trafficking हाई जावो section दांगोरला जाई जावो इधर करने family the family is the foundation तो stop करोले करती तो family बड़ा शुरू करना stop करते फाल support करना stop करते फालो.
You know, the questioner, you have asked a very beautiful question because here it is asking a question as to the way family responsibility is and it is the parents and the family that has to really take care of since 12 or 13 years below the age of 18 years is a juvenile. It should be a family issue and the family must father, mother, brothers, sisters should take keen interest that the younger brother or sister is not into drugs at such a young age. Like in connection with what we have been discussing now, community policing in terms of traffic rules and regulations was introduced in 2022. Like now, in what manner our police plan on introducing community policing with regard to drug menace? In the same line with the way we have made traffic rules and regulations community effort, so also in what manner can our police bring about drug menace as a community policing, not the police left alone to do the job?
Community policing as such shouldn't be a formal institution. It should come out from inside.
Exactly.
I mean, we shouldn't wait for the public shouldn't wait for the police to come up with something like, now you start doing this. It should come from you coming and helping us. I think that's the real essence of community policing. Like in our previous conversations, I've been telling the listeners that we have been having series of meetings and those meetings have actually borne fruit. We have had some WhatsApp groups, Kohima police along with the various colony chairmen, youth presidents. Through these groups, we have been able to, tackle some cases of drugs, some extortionists. So I feel like the public shouldn't actually wait for our invitation card to come and help us, but it should come from within, come forward and help us. I think that should be the real essence.
You are really right, Mr. Sheta. Policing of drug menace should not be left to the police, nor should it be any formalization for doing this task. But it is a realization that the whole society must feel the need of coming into it, because we all know that this drug menace is going to really do a lot of disaster for our future. I think our SP Kumar would like to give his comments on it.
More than community policing, I would say that it should be community awareness and participation. Ile policing ko le to idu meaning bhi alap hoi jaye aru manukhan bhi idu alag direction te hi loi kene jai thake.
Very true.
Because presently mokhan idu reports receive kura se kunba district te idu youth khan gadi ke rukabo, check kuribo, kunba ghorte search kuribo. So they are not having any power to do all those kind of things as per law. And in that cases many a times mokan etu bhi saya se jhamela bhi ulai jaye, manu bhi murai jaye ekta duta case se. We have seen such incidents. To etu hisab para takhan to awareness aru participation itu hi mokan expect kure se. Aru takhan laga participation to kini ga jabo. Participation is at various levels. They can make other people aware. The youth, they can provide the direction, and then like procedurally also we are requiring a lot of support from the society. We are requiring the independent witnesses for these kind of cases. We are requiring the informers who can inform us that this is happening. Itu hoye se, itu manu bikri kure se, itu manu khaye se. So at various levels we are requiring their support, and we are always open to that. And there is till now we have not made any plan that we will start this kind of policing for this kind of participation for the narcotics from this date or this month or this year, because itu to ongoing process ase, continuous process ase. Aru as Sheta has mentioned, this should not come from our side. Itu to takhan laga side para hi ai bolagi that yes, itu mokhan laga society ase, mokhan laga society te itu digdar ase, aru itu mokhani solve korbo. আৰু সলভ কৰিবলে তো মখান লাগা কি ডিপার্টমেন্ট আছে, পুলিশ ডিপার্টমেন্ট আছে, তাকানকে তো ফুল কোঅপারেট করব, তাকানকে তো কি লাগে আছে মখান ফুল সাপোর্ট দেব। তো এতো হিসাব পরা দে ইট ইজ এন অনগোয়িং প্রসেস, কন্টিনিউয়াস প্রসেস, এতো হিসাব পরা হি যাব লাগে।
Now we have one more SMS here, message. It's Vishal Durki from Assam. Kuntu class laga manu khan itu case te bisi involved thake. Thoni khan na tukya khan means this drug menace, is it prevalent among the rich class or the poor people, class people? From the way that you have arrested or got apprehended those drug peddlers.
Drugs so bishi bad thake, pure thake. Heroin in the 80s, and it used to be very expensive. So only the rich class group of people can actually afford the drugs. But the heroin that is coming in is purely adulterated and it's very affordable. And then with the price in the rise of alcohol as well, which people cannot afford, it might not divert in adulterated drugs with 300 rupees you can get, like drugs. So mostly, it is a lower class pay, straight out. And then we feel like all the cases that we have tackled, mostly school dropouts kanna, and unemployed, and then the age group would be, I give it like 15 to 25 years.
Mr. Vishal Turkey, apni laga question ni mere BC dhanyabad. Actually, the next question I have is supposed to be a very technical and clinical question, but I hope the three of you can give in your own analysis as well. Like, which drug is mostly used by drug abusers in Nagaland, and where is its origination?
Amit can
okay,
comment
please,
also,
madam.
but I would like to state a little bit with regard to the question.
Okay.
Now, the drugs which are mostly used in Nagaland are ganja
Okay.
and heroin, sunflower also. The ganja, it originates from Myanmar, and heroin originates from Manipur, as per the report of the investigating agency. So Sheta can also comment.
To supplement that fact, I feel like the various drug inspectors of districts should also step in and pull up their shirts, because a lot of cases where we have intercepted, they have been abusing over-the-counter medicines. For example, like cyclopam, 0.5 is alprazolam. So many other medicines which they abuse. So those are also in trend right now. For example, codeine syrups.
Sir Amit, do you think the police force that are kept at the check-gate to apprehend such events are sufficient in number, or are they not?
We already have enough police strength available across the state in all the districts. The effort that is required is towards generating more human intelligence as well as technical intelligence, and it is the direction where we are working towards. Presently, Mogan Idu database बनाया से we are gathering information for all these kinds of drug peddlers, and based on that Mogan Idu target based operation ही plan कुरेसे इत्या. So that is more effective presently, rather than increasing more checkpoints or more check gates or like that.
Okay. We are having another SMS message here. In a recent workshop I attended, a resource person once told that there is a drug nexus between the dealer and the supplier and demand online, just a message away, and delivery. Are there any mechanisms from the law enforcing agency to tackle this from the data, meaning to say from the mobile data, or all this nexus between the supplier and the one who is demanding? They are doing this business within a phone call away, and so all these are done through mobile. And so can our police force tackle this menace through the data?
Yes, we have those capabilities. Our police department is capable enough to gather the intelligence out of that data, and presently also we are doing operations based on the data available, like the cold data records. So we are utilizing it well. Those people who are involved in these kind of cases, so in those cases we try to establish the links between the different kind of people, forward linkages also, backward linkages also, takhan kun paralo aise, kun ke bikri kura aise. So we are targeting all aspects.
So your name is not there, but thank you very much for the question. And in fact, all of us, including you and me, all of us should really enhance the police to be able to tackle this menace, even by informing about people who are doing this business through their mobile. And so if those mobile numbers are shared with our police, surely it will be much easier. Thank you very much for the question. In the Nagaland Police history of combating drug menace, which year was the most successful in combating drug menace? How were the operations different from the present one from the other years? Can you give any?
Success we cannot measure in these kind of cases, because this is a continuous process. Sometimes we will register less number of cases, but that may be because of the reason that on that particular period of time the supply was less, and sometimes we are able to register more number of cases because we are able to intercept more. There can be reason where the supply was more, or there can be also the reason where our effectiveness has increased. So we cannot measure the effectiveness or success, or we cannot compare and say that this particular year was very successful year just by seeing the data. But one thing I would like to say is that from last year, our government of Nagaland and our police department has ensured the focus on reducing the drug menace is increased, and you can also see that in the just recent Independence Day that we celebrated, our Honorable Chief Minister also shared the pledge with all of people of the Nagaland in this direction, the Drug Free Nagaland. And in the same line, our police department is also working continuously under the leadership of our DGP sir. Presently, all districts are increasing their focus, especially in the NDPS related cases, to ensure that this problem is eradicated from our state.
Yeah, it is true that it is not question of which year was more successful, but we really see the effort of our police force in trying to make our Naga society a drug-free society, and this is really very much appreciated. Does the police department plan to introduce any new strategy to tackle drug menace in the state, if there is any?
Mention that there can be any single strategy to deal with these kind of issues, because the drug menace is very complex issue where every day we have to develop new kind of strategies, that okay, this new problem is coming up, so we have to deal like in this manner. This problem is coming up, we have to deal in another manner. So every day we are doing that, but more or less as a vision that I can see from our leadership is that now we have moved towards the technology based.
Thank you very
Yes.
much. Coming up next is midday news broadcast from Delhi.